Hello guys, welcome to IT Security Labs. I think we're a little loud here. Hello and welcome to IT Security Labs, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. I have yet another fun machine from Vulnhub, and this one is called Crossroads. I actually had a technical difficulty. As you can see, things they look a little different. I was connecting my microphone, so if there was a little delay, that's because the microphone wasn't picking up. Otherwise, thank you very much for being super patient and waiting. Otherwise, I think we should be good now. I see there were a few people who were here. Let me know if you have any delays with audio or anything like that. Otherwise, I think we're good. So the reason why I chose this machine is because first, it's recent from March 2021, and it's supposed to be a fun machine. And all you need to do for this one is just go ahead and download. And once you download this OVA here, you should be able to get there. Yeah. It says here that this is good with VirtualBox. So here's my quick setup for you so you know what I have. I have my VirtualBox here, and this is the machine called Crossroads. And everything is running locally here. So I do have VMware Fusion and VirtualBox on the same machine. And in VMware Fusion, I have pfSense, which is servicing my network, and my Kali Linux. So that's all we need. Download the machine, put it in VirtualBox, and make sure that you have communication with it, and off you go. So that's exactly what we will be doing here. All right. Now that you see that we have our network, our machine is up in VirtualBox, I believe. It says it's running. I took a snapshot. So you just go here and go to snapshots and take a snapshot. This is good for if you are attacking these machines with brute force. You might crash some services. It's easier to just revert back to snapshots when using VirtualBox. All right. So other than that, everything should be normal and should be good to go. Let me close this. This is for those people who are interested in learning ethical hacking. And this machine is going to teach us SMB enumeration, a lot of enumeration, which is what I really like. And the first thing that I like to do is I like to start with a ping to 192.168.38. I don't know the IP address yet. So let's go to our pfSense firewall. It will tell us with DHCP. You can run a net discover here, and net discover will also find it. Just run net discover on this subnet and you'll be able to find it. But I see no value in running net discover, so I just go straight and find out if I can access that machine. So first thing, I can see that my ping responses are working. So let's do an nmap minus sv minus sc 192.168.38.18. So what we're doing here is we're running nmap to find out what services are running on this machine. In this case, we want version information, and we also want to run default scripts. This is the first initial scan, so this will run on the top 1000 ports. What I encourage you to do, this is so that we can get started. The next order of business is we need to maybe go and find out if there's other ports other than the ones that are on the top 1000. So you might want to run with a different option here with -p. Or what you can do is you can run, let's see if I have it here, auto recon. Auto recon is an automatic script that you can find from GitHub. Someone wrote a really good one. Auto recon, I encourage you to really check it out. So all you need to do is run auto recon on 192.168.38.18. And what this will do is it will start scanning the system and also run more enumeration scripts depending on what it finds. And auto recon is something that I'm moving to because I want to be very fast nowadays. So after you run auto recon, you get these folders here. So I already ran it for our system. I just want us to know about auto recon because I think it will save us a lot of time. And then let's go to our initial script, our initial nmap run. So if we had just ran nmap for the top 1000 ports, you notice that we have port 80 with Apache 2.4. We do have robots.txt, and in this case, it's saying we should not see crossroads.png, or we do want to see that, so we'll check it out today. It says we have port 139 and 445. So this is really good, and server info is just Crossroads. So if we go to the browser, let's check out 38.118 first. What's there on the site that we are attacking? What are we really attacking here? Let's find out. Let's see if we'll be able to get there. Someone says, I'm not sure what type of tech measure. Yeah. All right. Someone says, oh, what does auto recon do? Let me show you what it does. It's a really nice tool. What it does is it will enumerate your system for ports that are open, and depending on the ports that it finds, it will run more scripts to find things. For example, if it runs and find number, it will run enum for Linux, which is really good. So it's an automated tool for enumeration. All right. It looks like this system is behaving funny. Let me see why it's freezing. And let me show you what auto recon does. I have a folder for Crossroads. So after running auto recon for all the machines that are on that. So in this case, for our machine, if you ran a full TCP scan, which auto recon does for us, this is what you'll notice. We don't have any higher ports in this case, but this is a full TCP scan that auto recon ran. We still see port 80, and we see our port 445 and a little bit more information here. All right. If we go back here, this is what we have. This is a site that we have. I think the creator for this cloned an actual site on the internet. I don't know why they did that, but they actually did clone an actual site, because if you start clicking here, for example, it will redirect you to an actual company. So maybe they intended it to be like that, or maybe it's just a poor design for the machine. I'm not sure. But usually what we want to do is when we have a website is we'll just go and check it out. Let's look at the site. So we like to poke around, see if we have any users, like any people. It's a list of people. So you harvest this information because these people can be potential way in. You can send them phishing emails or things like that. But in this case, we don't want to do that because we know that these users are actually maybe from an actual site somewhere, and they don't lead us anywhere. We also look for any login pages here, and we can quickly find out if there's more to this system by maybe running our GoBuster. So maybe let's run GoBuster with medium.txt. With GoBuster, what we'll be doing is we'll be brute forcing some directories, and then I can just show you the results that were found by auto recon, because auto recon already found the results instead of GoBuster. Let's see if this stops spinning. Here we go. So if we wanted to enumerate our port 80, what we can do is we can run GoBuster. Let's run it here. And all I need to change here is going to be my IP address. 192.168.38.18. We might want to specify specific files like PHP or text files or something like that, but the default should also do. This way, we are actually brute forcing for directories, and this might take a long time or a very short time, depending on how many results we have. But if you run auto recon, we also see that it will run GoBuster for us. Same one is the one that I just showed you there. In this case, we have Nicto, we have GoBuster.txt here. So let's look at the results for GoBuster. But if you wanted to run it manually, I just showed you the command. All right, GoBuster will show us what directories are on our site, and we're interested in these down here. We have robots.txt and not.txt. So let's check not.txt before we look at robots.txt. Just find 3 kings of blues, then move to the crossroads. What the hell does that even mean? Then we get whatever this is. Maybe it's a user name, or maybe it's a phrase. I don't know what that means. But maybe it was supposed to be something. I don't know what that means. I couldn't decipher what the meaning of that is. But we do have robots.txt, and it doesn't want us to see crossroads. It doesn't want robots to see crossroads.txt. So let's go and check out what's that PNG file. All right, so it looks like it's just a PNG file, which I can just save image as. Because it was hidden, it's worth spending time checking it out with strings and everything else. Thank you. Okay, so let's download crossroads.png. Save that. Let's replace. Let's spend some time checking this file out, the one that we just downloaded, because it's interesting. So we do have this PNG file called crossroads.png. Let's use some tools here to look at some data from it. And in this case, I'd like to use maybe stag height. From these images, but I think today I'm going to try. I have stag height, zstag, binwalk, then stego veritas. Let's use 2 of those for now. Okay. Okay, I wanted to do this to see if I can see the machine. Wow, I got a lot of crap in here I need to clean up. Okay, there is a file called Crossroads there. So let's use zstag -a. This is for all. You can read more about zstag. These are tools where that you can use to find more information from a file. If you have a file with information, and in this case I'm using zstag to check it out. What information does that file have? And right here I'm just looking. Some people put hidden information, especially for capture the flags. So zstag will find it if there is any information there. Okay, I just want to work from a clean location here. All right, so here is our file, crossroads.png. Let's run this tag again against it. That way we are not in the main directory with a lot of noise. All right. So if we do an ls here, we don't have anything there. We can scroll up to look. It does look like we have more data in this file. You'll notice that we have some files here. Actually, a lot of them. It looks like this is laced with some files. But we're also looking for anything we can read. People leave comments and stuff like that. And this time we see a lot of data in this PNG file as well. So let's move on to the next one. Let me use binwalk. I'm just showing you some tools that I use to interrogate files, because that could be something. All right, so it does look like with binwalk, I'm able to see this extracted here. All right, so binwalk extracted 2 files, and if you keep extracting these files here, it's a loop. It will keep extracting and unextracting and extracting and unextracting. So binwalk will not take you anywhere. But that's another tool that you can use if you wanted to extract files from an image. We can come back to that image later if we can find more information. But let's check out more of the other interesting results as well, because remember from our TCP results here, let me close. We do have more results than what we than just this image. Let's look at our SMB. All right, so cat. Just a quick reminder for our nmap. Let's go full. Let's check out SMB, and let's actually spend some time on SMB, because that's what this machine is all about. It's about SMB enumeration. So as you can see, we have port 445 open. I do have some resources that I have for when I have SMB. We can use any of these resources to actually enumerate SMB. The first thing, especially if it's Windows, I try to enumerate for users using nmap. So let's do that. Then I'll show you enum for Linux after, but that's actually better. Let's try nmap first. 38.18, I think. Will nmap find anything? Let's figure it out right now. Thank you all for your support. All right, according to our nmap SMB enum users, we found one account with a user Albert. So you might want to document this somewhere that we have a user. I'm just going to put it here. That we found according to nmap. Okay, let's now run enum for Linux. -a, I think that's for all checks 192.168.38. This will also interrogate SMB. So this is good enumeration for SMB, the service 38.18. Let's see what enum for Linux will also look for users. Just in case we missed with just that nmap script, it will look for users. It will also look for groups. So if this was a Windows machine, if there were any groups that the user belongs to, this script here will be able to tell us right away where the user belongs to. So our user Albert was also found here. And it looks like we might have found one more. Let's have it finished. Oh, Albert and unknown. Okay, local user. So we are going to work with Albert because that's the local user that we want to work with. None, that doesn't look like a user to me. I'll forget about that one. Nobody, maybe it's an account, maybe it's a true account. This is worth looking. Oh no, this was the domain group. This nobody user here is interesting, but not as interesting as Albert. So we'll work with Albert for now. All right. Yes, you can run enum for Linux on Windows machines, and you don't actually find users. Okay. So now that we found our user Albert, let's do one more thing. Let's go back to our results, our nmap. I should just have these results open. All right, so now that we found our user Albert, we do have port 80, which we didn't find much other than robots.txt. We can now work with this Samba share. Can we get in as anonymous, and can we also get in as Albert? So let's, before we even move on, let's also do more enumeration on this Samba share here. And for that, I showed you that I can also look up for bounds. This one usually I do it for Windows, for nmap bounds. Usually Windows is notorious for being vulnerable that way. In this case, let's just try to sign in. First, let's test out with SMB client. Let's test out just anonymous login. Then we'll try Albert before we start any brute force here. I just changed the IP address to be the one that I want. And enter. You see that anonymous isn't allowed. Let's see if we can just list some shares using anonymous. And for that, I'll use SMB map. SMB map, just specify the host. We just want to see, okay, can we see anything? So we don't have access to any of these, but we do have an SMB share that without a user, we cannot get into, okay? But we do have some shares, especially the SMB share location right there. That is interesting. So let's try with our user Albert, but without a password. We don't have a password for Albert. So using SMB map, the host is that -u Albert. Authentication fail -u -p. Is it capital P maybe? Wait a second. Let's get our syntax correct here. Wait a second. What am I doing? SMB map host. Let's try that. I want to specify user. Okay, so we need a password. We're going to need a password here for this person. I like to keep my examples here, then it shows me exactly how I should be doing it, just in case I forget my syntax. So I will reuse this. This is from Hack the Box a long time ago. I'll just reuse that because I know it works. So here's what I need to do. Oh, I see. I know what I was doing wrong. by just looking at this example that I've done before. I need to specify a share here. Let's try that. Okay, let's reuse this syntax here. What was the share that I found earlier? All right, so it's SMB share. .18. My user is Albert in this case. All right, so if I do that, it's asking for Albert's password. I don't have a password, so I'm going to need a password for Albert. Without a password, I won't be able to get in. So here's what we can do. We can try to brute force the password. There is a Metasploit module for brute forcing SMB client. I don't want to use that because it's Metasploit. However, I think we can try with our good friend Hydra using the same exact syntax here and then changing this to just be SMB. You can brute force using Metasploit for SMB client, but in this case, I don't want to do that. I want to use Hydra instead because I don't know if I can use that Metasploit module for the OSCP. That's why I'm avoiding that, but it's an easier way to do that. So I'll use as Albert. I think this one says it's going to be verbose. L is saying I want a user. That's lowercase l. Then minus capital P, we're sending it to a word list, roq.txt in this case. Then we need to specify our IP address. Then the service. So Hydra will get the job done. Should get the job done. As you can see, we're starting. Whoa. So it will keep doing this for a long time, of course, because we're using roq.txt. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to create your own word list based on some intel that you get from the server. And by the end, I'll let you know a faster way that I found, but this is the way I did it at first. So right now we're just brute forcing using Hydra. This will take quite some time because we're using roq.txt. It's a big word list if you use roq.txt. At this point, I would encourage you to I would encourage you to go and get a coffee, relax, maybe play video games, depending on how much speed your machine has. This will get you the password. It will get you the password because the password in this case is inside of roq.txt. So that was the only way to get in. I'm not a big fan of brute forcing, but hey, brute forcing is part of the game, so we do it. I will save you some time. I will actually leave this one running in the background as long as it doesn't slow down my machine. I hope if it finishes during this session, fine. If it doesn't, I'll tell you what the password is. But we use Hydra. Metasploit might be faster, but with Hydra, that's the easiest way to go. And the reason why I prefer Hydra is because, as you can see here, I have some examples. If it was remote desktop, SNMP, you can use Hydra for a lot of services. And there's a few cheat sheets out there, including this one on GitHub that I put for myself as a good reference, which I think I should be able to show you. So if you want to learn more about Hydra, especially on brute forcing. We could have just used this one. It's the same idea. Actually, here's the SMB option here using row queue. This is exactly what I'm doing, just without one of these options. So it's a legitimate way of getting passwords with Hydra. There we go. So this will keep going. I haven't learned about multi-threading there, but for the sake of our time, the password that it finds is this one. Bradley1. So we'll save this password. That's what Hydra is going to find. Bradley1. And I'll let it run. And once we find the password, let's use SMB map to sign in. Let's just sign in with SMB map. SMB map -h for the host, 192.168.13.8.1. User is Albert. Did I do it again? What's up with my syntax on this one? Let me see if I have a different one. Oh, thanks. I actually have in my notes the proper syntax, but actually, let me just use SMB client to sign in. -u. My user is Albert. And in this case, I'm going to 192.168.38.18. I found that we have SMB share, but usually when I find a user, I want to go to their share first, because usually a user has their under their name. So let's go to Albert like that first before we go to the SMB share. This is Bradley 1. All right, so once we're in here, should be able to do an ls. And as you can see here, there is a few things that are in here. We have this pass list.txt. You won't have this. I forgot to reset my machine. I actually put this one in myself, but you have everything that is in here. We have crossroads.png. Oh, here's our crossroads.png is back again. So then we have broot, which is interesting. Then we have user.text. Okay, let me show you a quick tip that I do. Instead of signing into my SMB share from some random place, I want to sign into my SMB share from a directory that I know, so I can organize, so I can steal all this stuff, so I can loot and put things in a more organized way. So I'll put it in my machine's Crossroads here, and I'll tell you why I'm typing SMB client from within this directory here in a second. It's Bradley1. So here I can do this get user.text. Okay, so it downloaded it. It's downloading everything in this directory here. That's why I like to sign in like that. Let's get broot. I'm thinking it's some binary file somewhere that needs to be executed. Let's also get crossroads.png in there. We might as well steal everything. I have a command that I think I put for myself for looting everything from my SMB. And if I wanted to just get everything, recursively download the whole share, is SMB get like this. This is the command that I would have done on the whole directory, and it would have downloaded everything. In this case, I should have just used that, but I'm not going to do that. Let's go to SMB share. In this case, let's get smb.conf. You will not have this one. This is a result of executing a script. Okay. Now that we've looted the good stuff, let's look at what we have here. First, let's look at the user.text. Looks like a troll thing. Maybe it's a flag, but hey, this is what the flag looks like. So it's one of two. That means there's a second flag. Nice art from the creator. Let's go to smb.conf. Yeah, so the smb.conf file is what we use for configuring our SMB file. And in here, what we're looking at for is almost at any given time, if you get this file as an attacker, you're looking at, okay, the configuration for printers, this is the path where things are. Not exciting. In this case, this is a full path that we have. Home Albert SMB share, which is good. Its valid user is Albert. And here are the permissions. But it's also doing this magic script here, which is smb.sh. This is very interesting because if it's executing a script, what that means is we can overwrite that script, or we can take over that script if it doesn't exist, and actually just execute it ourselves. So let's do this. Let's copy the name of the script. Let's create our own script, but instead of just putting anything useful in there, we'll put our reverse shell. We're just hijacking this ability to execute scripts that they have in this SMB. So the easiest thing that you can do is you can just do an echo netcat -e or something like that, or any of the other reverse shells that you want, as long as they work. In this case, you can even use something like this without base 64. Let's echo something like this one. And this is just us trying to get a shell back, saying, hey, give me a shell. You can see that I like to reuse things that I've used before. So in this case, let's use, this is 18. We're saying, hey, let's echo that to smb conf script.sh, I think. We're just saying, hey, let's put a reverse shell there. You can put a Python reverse shell, you can put a PHP, as long as the system can execute it, it should give you a reverse shell. This doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what you put here. Let's use my favorite port, 5353. So now if we cat this, we should just see just that text in there. Simple reverse shell. Now, since we're working from this directory, let's go and put that into our system. Oh, look, this is still brute forcing. I'm going to stop it so it doesn't slow down my computer. For me, I can't tell how long it took because I left it and I came back after a while and it was done. All right, so let's sign in, but sign in from where we created our script. In this case, it's in here. We want to put this SMB script so that it can be executed by SMB. But where do we put that script? Do we put it in the Albert location, or do we put it in the SMB share? I'm not sure there. Let me see where it should be. This is Bradley. Let's put it here. No, the path is in SMB share. And to put SMB script.sh. This is how we can upload things from Kali to the system once we sign in SMB. So today you're getting a lot of SMB action. This should work. Oh, I forgot something. I think I need to start my listener first. Netcat minus LV and P 5353. I need to start my listener first, then upload the script. And the moment I upload the script, it should execute and give me a reverse shell here. And let's do that from here. Oh, I named it SMB share. See what happens when you're all over the place. Let's go here. Okay, SMB script.sh. Okay, let me just verify. Okay, that's what I got there. My smb.conf is actually looking for that exact name, smb script.sh. Okay, I was now second guessing myself there. Okay, so the moment I run this put command, that script should run automatically the moment I upload it there. And when it runs, it should give me a reverse shell because that's what I have in the script. Access denied. Wait. Why is it not taking my script? All right, let's try here. smb script.sh. Why is this not? All right, let's look at my all right, so it doesn't like my permissions. Access denied, opening remote file. Let's see if it actually executed anyway. No, it didn't. Let's try it again. Oh. That shouldn't matter. Let's try the put again. I wonder if it doesn't want to execute because I already did it once, which in that case, Let's see. All right, one more time. Can't be that hard to put a file, right? I was able to download. Oh, I forgot to look at my permissions. Where can I write? I think I did that. Let's actually. So depending on how I'm getting there with SMB, I might just have access to one SMB. I think I had write access to this one. Let me make sure that it's the same location, because I remember as Bradley, I had access to one. Stop listening. We don't have anything to listen to yet. Okay. It's SMB share. I think we could write to SMB share. So let's do that. All right. It might not be wanting to do it because I already did it. Adobe is going to be going away. This is where I use the feature to reset, because I know I can write there. So I'm just going to reset my machine because I already ran the script once. I think I need to reset it so that I can only run it only once. And to reset, the reset feature that I mentioned at the beginning is this one. What happened to my... Oh, there it is. Here's my reset feature. Click here, snapshots, before attack. I think I can click on that. I need to power it off. And then we can do a restore. And you can do this because you're confident. You know that you have write access to that location. So something is wrong with this system. All right, let's bring it up. And we should now be able to attack this machine. Let's give it 1 second here. Awesome. Thank you all for sticking around. Today, SMB, we just need more practice with it. And I think this is really fun stuff because once you get it down, you can always use it on any other machines that you run into, including on professional engagements. So this is actually really good stuff. All right, looks like the machine started. 18. We still have the same machine, so let's do it again. Nice. So let's try with the test file. Make sure that we can write into this thing. So I'm just going to put a simple text file. Test.text. What is wrong with this? What could I be doing wrong in order for me to be unable to put these files here? It can't be that hard. I didn't think so. So I tried a text file. Oh, wait a second. I don't have a test. Oh, I do. So what kind of sorcery is this? So it worked this time. Okay. See, sometimes you just have to be confident in what you're doing. So my test.text finally was able to work. Yeah. So this one I'm able to put here. So because of that, let's start my list now. Okay, it's here, 5353. Let's, instead of test.text, let's put our smb script.sh. Okay, it fails and it's still listening. Let's put it with a different extension and see if it works. Well, it won't execute, but it should work. Let's do it with yeah, I'm thinking about oh, you know what? It might be just a permissions issue. I'm just going to give everybody permission because I think this has happened to me before. This has actually happened with this SMB stuff. Let's see. Let's make it into an executable first. Maybe it will get in as an executable. If it doesn't, then we know. Okay. Oh. I didn't mean to be like that. When I tested it earlier, I think I was coming from here. It can be a permissions issue. SMB script.text. Okay, so it gets in here as a text file, but it won't get in here as a there as a shell file. It's getting it as Albert. Right, I'm going to look up this error. Why would this be the case? SMB is messing with me. What up with that? Look, I'm not the only one who has this issue. It's a Windows problem. They share you are browsing the read only to the user you are connecting from with SMB client. But not for Bradley. It doesn't seem to work. Okay, let's try this one. So we want to find out why. Otherwise, we'll move. Linux questions. This is not Windows though. Maybe the client just doesn't want to connect. However, I'm able to put text files in there. Interesting. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do something I shouldn't be doing, but I'm going to do it for testing purposes. Just to get permissions out of the way. Within SMB, I think I should be able to do that. Let me see if I can do that. Bradley 1. Script. No, cannot do that. Let me see what else can I do here? So SMB client doesn't want to work. I don't think SMB takes those commands either. I don't think you can do a move here. Nope. See if we can rename. No. Oh, BT is something. Rename SMB client. Let's see. Is that the right command? Rename old file, new file. Thank you. There we go. Here's the main page. We're listening. There we go. Let's see if this works. Look at that. Did that work? No, I don't think it did. Okay, so we've established that we can rename the files. I just don't have it here. I think I need to put it in Bradley's. Not Bradley, Albert. Oh, with minus F. Yeah, my bad. Let's do it again. Okay, so now let's put smb dot text. All right. Moment of truth. What's happening to it? I did it again. Man. I did it with minus F this time. Where did it go? So here's my SMB script.text. Let's see if that works. All right. I'm going to remake my file. For whatever reason, it doesn't want to work. Yeah, I did have the text file there. It just, after renaming it, it's not saving it, which is interesting. And I wonder, I'm just out of curiosity, I wonder if I cannot do this from a root-owned location. I wonder if I can just copy my script to the downloads folder, if that will work. Because this could be a silly thing. This could be one of those silly things. Downloads. Let's do it from here. because it may be a Kali thing. I'm stuck. Let's check SMB map for actual permissions here. SMB. We'll get it one way or the other. I'm going to take it back one step before I do anything, so I can confirm. So with SMB map, this is what it shows us, that we don't have any access without any user. All right, here are our actual permissions here. So I should stop putting it here because it's only read only. SMB share, I can read and write. SMB share, I should be able to read and write. So that is bogus stuff. So this is how we check the permissions, by the way. Just putting the user and password. So like BT said here, I should be able to read and write. So let's go and that's the name, SMB share. Okay, here's my test file. smb.conf, yeah, I think the only thing that I'm interested in is this part here. SMB script.sh. No. Here I can write. No. This should work. All right. So this file, a text file with the same exact permissions worked. Crossroads. Let's put the user.text in there. Where was I? So the reason why I'm trying it was it worked earlier when I did this. So for whatever reason, it doesn't want to work now. See that? Users.text is here. Right? Time to go the Metasploit route. I'm actually thinking about that right now. Make it everything. Why is it not working? Why is that not working? Oh, you see that? I can actually use curl for this as well if I wanted to. All right, so before I bust Metasploit, let me reset this box one more time just in case it's doing shenanigans for me. I don't want a snapshot, I just want to restore it to its original state. All right, Now we will start the machine. The good thing is once we get this part, getting root is the easiest part for this machine. And those folks from the OSCP who say try harder, they really mean it. You don't just go around attacking machine willy-nilly. Dumb things like SMB can get you. In this case, that's what we're dealing with. All right, let's see. All right, let's make sure we are listening. I think that's the port that we are now listening on. All right. And root machines. I probably am having tunnel vision. Let me just do this. It's not like this matters, but who knows? That's the share name, username. It is. And according to this, all right. All right, we're figuring out. So let's rename that file with the -f file again. So if we do rename, so we know that this script is here. And we want it to be that -f. Okay, let's see if this works. Because we renamed it to the same one with the same extension and nothing happened. All right. So now that hopefully it's in there, let's exit and get back in. Let's see if it executed the script. Nope. That is interesting. And I don't have any clear explanation as to why this will not work. But here's what we're going to do. Because we will not let this get to us. I'm going to do one last thing that actually would make this maybe work. Let's mess with the configuration file. Since we can read and write there, let's see if we can mess with this file instead. So let's name this smb.sh. I'm just messing with this file here to see if it works, because Albert is the valid user. Browsable, yes. Writable, yes. Read only, no. Okay, let's replace the smb.conf file. Okay, so isn't this the dumbest thing? We can write smb.conf, but we cannot write shell scripts. No, something is up here. So I'm going to download to make sure that I have the right one. Just stay with. So we were able to successfully mess with this. All right. Somebody tell me if this makes any sense to you. If anyone can explain what is happening here, that will help. So the first shell script didn't want to work. I changed the name and this one worked. Okay. I hope you appreciate the pain that I'm going through here. This is actually what hacking is like. If you watch a 10-minute video and somebody exploits a machine and you're like, wow, that was great, that is actually not how you learn. You learn the way we're doing it here. And so far, I'm looking for answers. I renamed the smb.sh and it worked. Okay, the reason why I didn't get a reverse shell is because I'm being a dumbass. Yeah, actually, we should do that. I didn't, in my reverse shell, I didn't put my actual IP address for my Kali. I needed to put 10 instead of 18. So let's do that again. Let's just put 10 here because it needs to phone home, not phone to itself. All right, we learned today. We can mess with the configuration file if we already have the configuration file, so that's good for us. So now we're in business. Now we are actually phoning to the right IP address on port 888. Why don't we start in clean listener here on port 888. Now let's put the new one again. Okay. So I have no idea why the first one wasn't running, but now the question is, do we get a shell or not? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. We know we can put shell scripts, it's just not taking the right one. So to make sure that things actually work the way they should be, we're going to power off this guy. I'm going to show you the process that I went through to just put this machine in here. Where did I get that machine from? Oh, it was from here. It was from untitled users because I have multiple profiles on this machine, so it's in my downloads. I'm just getting a clean machine that doesn't have any surprises. Because this is not making any sense whatsoever. It can take other shell scripts, but not the actual one. So what I think I did is I executed the script once, and now it doesn't want to execute again. And my snapshot isn't helping. So I'm importing a new machine, and that should work. And while this is happening, real world sucks. Yeah. Thank you. Because in the real world too, things do this stuff, right? It's like all those bug bounty people that end up getting like $100,000. They're like, yay, I did it. Well, how long did it take them? Yeah. Stay in there with me. Once we get it working, we have 5 minutes to get root and everything working. So that should be good. I agree. I think it broke my machine. Otherwise, let me see. What are people saying here? So now we know with SMB, we cannot rename a script, at least in this case, with this Crossroads machine. You can host that machine once you run the script once. Maybe a full reset. In this case, that's what I'm going to do. Exactly. Let me see what I got here. Okay. Usually I don't run into issues with Vulnhub boxes. Vulnhub boxes are pretty stable, or some of them. This one is the first one that I actually ran into any issues with. Usually they're pretty straightforward. But once we import it, it should be fine. I'm confident because I did it once. Usually what I do when I have Vulnhub boxes, before a live stream, I'll have two machines, one that I just attack, then I'll have another one. And the snapshots have been working lately, where you can actually just make your snapshots run. But in this case, it doesn't look like it. All right, so while we're importing our machine, let's look at the other things that we had there. We had this thing called get creds that we downloaded. No, it was called broot. So what I like to do with these is I'll run strings against it. See what is it, because I downloaded this from the machine. What is this thing? Okay, so it looks like it's an application on our system that is running set UID. It's running system. So when I'm looking here, I'm looking for normal Linux commands, and this looks like a binary on our system. It's running set UID. It's running system, and it's calling a script from the root directory. The unfortunate part here is that we don't have access to the root directory because we are not even root and we don't have shell yet. But we do know that there is a binary that is on the user profile that is doing this behavior. This is consistent with our UIDs. So what we can do then after this is we just need to sign back into our machine. If we can sign back into the machine, try to run this thing here and see what happens. For the most part, it's more likely that it will not work for us, which is fine. Next, I'll do this while the machine is coming up. Then once it comes up, I'll show you what it looks like. The next part is we also downloaded the Crossroads.png directly from our Samba share. Let's mess with that file for a second, because I think we didn't we actually didn't finish that. There's a few tools like I showed you at the beginning that we can use for extracting that file, but one that actually is interesting is called Stego Veritas. With Stego Veritas, it will do this. I'll just show you. If we run it, you have to install this from Git. It will extract any information from PNG files. PNG files are very limited than JPEGs. But this actually will extract all kinds of information. It's like the best as far as I can tell for Stego. StegHide, OpenStego, and all those tools would do the job, but this one does it at a way different, higher level. So this will take a little bit here to run. Let's see. All right. So what we're doing here is I'm running Stego Veritas against the PNG file because we want to see if that file has any information. And it will error out this is normal. And while that is happening, let's start our new machine. This is clean. If this one doesn't work, we know we are in trouble because this one is clean. Oh, before I do that, I need to change my network. Yeah, let's change the network settings. I don't want it to be that one. I have a local network. That one. Reload settings. Okay. Let's make sure our settings work. The network that I want to connect is not the bridged network. I want it to be a specific network. Okay, yeah, bridged VMnet 9, which is good. This will get me a DHCP IP address. So normal start here. Let's give it a second. And our Stego Veritas is running. It takes a while because it's extracting everything. And I'll show you what it will find. So Stego Veritas will, in this case, you'll see a bunch of Crossroads.png files that you have extracted that look like this. These are all more information that was inside of that picture that we downloaded. The file that is of interest is called keepers. If you go in keepers here, you'll notice that we have more files. If you do an ls-la, you can tell what type of files they are. Let's cat this one. There. If you didn't use this case with Stego Veritas, you never have found this file here. The reason why I'm showing you this is because the creator for this machine took a portion of roku.txt and hid it in the image. So you can wait for roku.txt to do the brute forcing and find the answer, or you can use the one that they had hidden it here. In this case, if I knew about this at the beginning, I would have piped it to, I would have done something like this. Yeah, you can just pipe it maybe to search home. Machines. Crossroads. Use a list, password.txt. All right, so we got that list from that image. So that image that we see from this one, it has a list of passwords in it, inside of it. If you didn't do that, you would have to wait with roku.txt to brute force for the user's password. So that's another one. Then let's check out the new machine that we just brought up online. Let's see if we can find this IP address quickly here. All right, so this one is 19. We could have guessed that one. All right, let's do it with 19 this time. Someone who probably watches this will be like, I am not going to do this type of stuff. If you are somebody who is easily discouraged, these things can really crush you. The same host name, mostly because we have different MAC addresses, but this should be causing a lot of ideas, issues like, hey, we have someone who is spoofing a host name here. What's happening? Let's wait for that for a second because it's spinning for whatever reason. This one is going to be removed because we don't need it anymore. If you don't clean up your Kali Linux, I mean your VMs, they get to be too big. All right, moment of truth. So this is Stego Veritas. When it's done, this is what it looks like. And when you do an ls, you get the results tab. And inside of results, you have the keepers that I showed you here. And one of these files is what we found a list of users that was hidden. All right, now back to business. Oh, this Adobe thing needs to go. I don't use it anymore and it keeps doing that. All right. Before we run it, let's make sure everything is here. Let's do that. I don't want bin sh. Now I actually want bin bash. Because why not? It's better, I think. Verify the IP address that we're going to is 10 for sure. All right. No. Okay, let's do this. $19, new machine, password, barely one. All right. I think it was 888. Okay, now we're sure with everything. persistent. It says, yes, and everybody's still here. People really want to see how this is going to go. I also want to see how this is going to go. So if everything had worked the way we wanted and everything was good, hopefully this is what it should have been. Okay, but before you run this script, we want to make sure that you are listening. And this should work. See, this is exactly what I was trying to do for the past 30 minutes. I've been trained for patience. So we're in as our user, Albert. Resetting the machine worked. So if you know that what you're doing works, it should work. Let's stabilize our shell quick. It's Python 3. I tried Python 2, it didn't work. All right. So this is the binary that we stole earlier. First of all, you see what I'm talking about? The machine just became unstable after the first time I attacked it. All right. So this is our first flag. What I normally do when I get users, in addition to looting everything, we have this B root. This one, as you can see, the B root is actually interesting. It's asking for a password. Well, lucky for us, we found a list of passwords. Remember, the stego work that I was just doing here? We're going to use those results from here. I think it was this one. We're going to use this to brute force for the password. This list here, password is somewhere in here. And this was hidden in the image, so we're going to go for that. Oh crap. See what I just did? I killed my terminal. Let's hope it doesn't involve let's hope it comes back up by itself. Well, after putting it back again. All right, the machine is becoming a little slow. Once we get our shell, we're going to brute force for that password. So the B root script is asking for a password. We have a list that was given to us. All we need to do is run a bash one-liner to feed every single one of those inside of the machine, so that it actually works. So let's see if this is going to work here. Do I only have one? So if it doesn't work this time, I know that I can put it twice. All right, it worked this time. So whatever that was, it was a bug that didn't want me to complete the machine today. All right. So what I just ran here is supposed to stabilize my shell. What I normally do, if I didn't see this right here, right off the bat, the B root, I normally run under my privilege escalation here. I'll look for SUIDs. I'm pretty sure I'll catch that one right away. I run this one that is in bold here because this will scan the system for any files that have SUIDs set. And I'm pretty sure B root is one of them right here. So whether we found it by just manually browsing there or running this, looking for SUIDs, B root was going to stick out to us one way or the other. And like I said, we run strings and stuff like that. But we have a password.txt. So why not just get the passwords there to our machine as well? But before we get it there, let's get the password.txt first. We're almost done in less than 10 minutes. All right, so we're going to use this list here to brute force for the password for broot. Yeah, someone is asking, how did I get that list again? That list is tied into this image here. So if you use steganography in this image here, there is a list that is tied to it. If you didn't find it, you can just use roq.txt. It will just take you forever because it's part of roq.txt. So one way or the other, you should be able to do it. All right, so why we want to move passwords.txt to our machine. Let's do that right now. Let's set up Python simple HTTP. I got my file transfer. I will just use that. This is what you do to transfer a file. You want to be from the same directory where the file that you want to move is. In this case, it's my Crossroads file. And I'm hosting a simple HTTP server on port 8080. And then I should be able to just go to my victim machine and run wget. IP address for my Kali. Of course, I need to specify my port 8080. I think it was passwords.txt. Yeah, I want passwords.txt to be here. So ls, and now we have passwords.txt. So broot is asking for a password. I have a list of passwords. The simple thing that you can do is let's feed every password from this list to broot every time it's running. And there's a simple way to do that. You can write a Python script, a bash script, or just a one-liner. Doesn't matter. That works. In this case, let's do a for, just a small for loop for I in. Then we, if we do this, we can just specify our file in this case, but we want to run the cat command. So every word in this list is going to be set as I. Then for every word, we're going to feed it into the password. In this case, it's cat passwords, password.txt. Then close. I think we can then pipe this, yeah, to. Found that we can run now. We can now run broot, and since it's in this location, we can just run it here. And then done. Let's see if this works. So what we're saying here, for every password, insert it when we are prompted, and then make sure that we say we are done for every one of them. Oh, wait a second. I think I know what happened. I need to run broot, semicolon, then done. Not there. All right. So this will you go through the list and brute force for us. Wait a second. I have a space, unexpected space. It should work. For I, not in that. Dot text. Should be able to pipe that to otherwise, let's see. Let's fix our syntax here. For I in that, can I just do that? I have actually done this before. Let me see. I'm just being silly. Okay, for I in this, I need to echo. I'm looking at my syntax here. In this one, I need to echo I like that. Because that's how I'm able to feed it into my thanks BT. Then I can be done. All right. Wait, let me write my command here. Passwords.text. There. This shouldn't take too long because our file is not that big. And then once it finishes, we should be able to get a new file with the root password, hopefully, because that's what it was saying according to our strings on that location. Okay, that worked. All right, so it didn't tell us that it worked, just saying the wrong password. But let's see if we do an ls here. Now you see we have a new file that wasn't here before, root creds. Root creds is root and whatever this is. Switch user to root. And that password. And we are now root. Now we just need to find the other flag. That was interesting. Well, thank you for sticking around and watching the pain. I hope. Thanks, BT. You're being kind. I hope you learned a lot from what we do here. Being able to see everything live puts everything in perspective. That sometimes things don't work out. And what? Oh, this is the first password. Yeah. I'm just looking at what the creator had put here. So that was a fun machine. Thank you very much for being here. And if you are a paying member for my channel starting this week, I'll be sending links for Zoom in the channel membership section, so you can join me for some one-on-ones and stuff like that, so we can chat. So if you're one of those folks, check the channel membership section. I'll be posting a link on Tuesday. I'll spend about an hour Tuesday night on Zoom, so we can just hang out and I can answer any other questions that people might have. Otherwise, thank you for being here and thank you for the likes and the encouragement. This was not fun, but I hope you learned something today. So thanks very much, and I will see you next week. Thanks.